All right, everybody. Welcome once again to Bottom Card Booking right here on UndefinedRadio.com. Appreciate you guys and gals tuning in. I get it. It's a new layout, brand new introduction, trying new things, getting some new software rolling. At least we're hoping to. That's the goal. And if you see my lips moving and no sound coming out, it means I have failed drastically at what I was attempting to do tonight.
Well, on my uh,
Does it
what
come
is
through
this
your?
AT&T phone
Yeah,
service? I hear sound through my phone,
you
so
do hear me talking,
I
blabbering.
believe we're good. Yes.
There you go. That's all we need because we do have a special guest. We're gonna go ahead and get him on. I see no need in waiting on this. There's no point in waiting on this. So we're gonna go ahead and do it. We're gonna go ahead and get him on here.
So I hear.
Dude, let's see. I think who we have live here is Mr. Buster Kennedy himself.
I'm here. I'm here.
There we go. Oh my God, it works.
Yes, there he
We're
is.
so excited.
Buster, what's going on, buddy? Good to have you, man.
Just been out with my wife all day. We've been car shopping.
Oh God, how'd it turn out? In her
Uh,
favor?
yeah. She got her a new vehicle.
There you go. Best way to keep them happy.
That's what
Make
I said.
sure you
Mama's
just
happy.
agree.
Everybody's happy.
That is a fact.
That's the truest
Man.
saying ever right there.
What'd you say?
My mama
look,
used to tell me before I even had a wife. She said, "If Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy." So I had to find one Mama liked.
And those are wise words you have to keep in mind, folks.
That's right.
It just makes all the sense. Hey, look, congratulations Saturday night, buddy, on a great show.
Well, I was hoping to see Big Daddy Storm, but
Dude, let me tell you something about Saturday. After I know you've heard, I don't know if you've heard about what happened at Bluff City Saturday. By the time I got home, I didn't go anywhere for 2 days.
I bet not.
I can't lie about it. I mean, there's just no lying about it. I was hurt so bad. I was like, nope. I would rather have regular matches than just beat everybody up. That was the worst thing. That hurt me more than anything else. Hurting people hurt me more than people hurting me. It doesn't make sense.
But did you enjoy beating them up when it didn't hurt?
Okay, so I'm not going to lie to you. I did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun.
I like doing it myself.
Dude, it was a lot of fun. But
I beat the stem out of Floyd Flair Saturday night.
Dude, so yeah, and so how much fun did you have doing that?
I had to sit on my hands, keep from clapping. I enjoyed it that much.
So it was a good time all the way around, is what you're saying?
Oh, it was a great night at the Boys and Girls Club there in West Memphis. It was, I think he told me he had 157 pay at the door, and then he sold 30 pre-sales. So I would say 200 in the building.
Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Especially in West Memphis.
Yeah, and it's a big, and Abe actually texted me today, and he's already wanting to know what date for a future show we can get. So maybe we can get back in there.
Well, I believe you can. We talk about APW all the time because, and not just on this show, but just what you guys are doing over there and how well it's done. And yeah, I couldn't be more happy for y'all and what's going on over there. Yeah, we talked to a couple of guys Saturday, and one of them specifically was like, "Come on," and we were pretty hyped about it until about 3:00.
Right.
And it was like, okay.
I
was like, if anybody understands, it'll be Rick. He'll understand this. Oh, but man, it was.
I do.
It's fun. So y'all's next show is when? Because I saw the poster I think last night for it.
February 4th in Helena, Arkansas.
You don't know, I know.
February 4th
in Helena.
See, that seems to be a show I need to come to, right?
That sounds like a good. You're booked.
Helena.
Yeah, you're booked.
I'm coming.
You're booked.
That's all you had to say.
That's right.
That's all. That's all you had to say. I've been dying for this.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
buddy. I am excited.
We've got a couple guys down there that seem to think that they're bulletproof. So I think, yeah, you're booked.
Oh, appreciate it, buddy. God, I love Ricky so much. My favorite people. Hey, dude, speaking of love and not getting any, we got to get to the, it's kind of nut cutting time a little bit. And,
right.
We had kind of had a private conversation yesterday a little bit, I guess, a bunch of us, and talking about certain things. And you can talk about it or you cannot talk about it. You're a better man than I am. I will say this in front of everybody right now. This is because, buddy,
there's times that you have to let the cockroaches come out of the walls and run across the floor without stomping them. And then there's times that you just have to wait and let them chew themselves out, like we just witnessed a while ago.
Oh my God, that was epic in meltdown fashion.
Dude, that was ice cream on a sunny day in July, sitting on a sidewalk.
I'm
That
just
was a
thinking about
complete meltdown.
the last 24 hours.
That
just been
that is so
crazy.
wild. But does that not show you just how many people do not need to be around this business? Period.
Yes, and it shows me, for one, you can have an opinion about a young kid botching a spot in a match, whatever you want to call it. You can have all the opinions you want on how terrible he may be or how goofy he looked. You may have an opinion about the age of another man. But when you attack that kid and that gentleman that was in the ring
Yep.
doing what I asked them to do for the boys, them kids and the people at the Boys and Girls Club Saturday night, and you just try to humiliate them, and you think it's funny, and you think it's this, and you think it's that, dude, you've got special problems.
And that was on full display, by the way, his special problems. And I think and it rubs so many people the wrong way, especially because, first of all, when you're posting a 10-second clip of a bot, you're intentionally trying to do something.
Yes.
This is from another man who goes there and goes into the BCW stuff. And when I saw it and I saw who it was that posted, I'm like, yeah, this is what they do. And
Right.
I've gotten to work with Kylo. I like
Yeah.
the kid. He listens and he does his best. He's like anybody who's been we've all started in the same spot,
Right.
not learning, getting better,
Right.
and to be put on blast like that, not for the kid's sake, not because you were trying to be constructive in your criticism, but to make you and your stuff appear better than somebody else's, and taking
Right.
somebody like Kylo down is that's not what this business should be about at all.
Well, he preaches about helping people and doing it for the love of the business and this and that, and yet you're sitting there being so negative. And then the other guy, and I'm not even sure who he is, Tyshawn or whoever, he shares it and thinks it's funny.
That's right.
But yet y'all are trying to do better and grow the business that we're in, and then you think this is funny, and then at the end of the day, what it boils down to is I own my own building. I own my own ring. I own my own speaker system. I own everything about APW. It's paid for. I own nothing on none of it. I have people that come in and train. Me and Buck Skinner train these young kids that want to do this. So we give them a platform to go do it, because not everybody with their 2 years of experience gets that opportunity every week.
That's true.
So I started this company to help these kids maintain and gain and grow. And then you've got people like Greg James, and I'll say his name because he didn't mind running my company in the ground the other night.
That's right.
That's right.
You got people like Greg James that has no clue about nothing. He don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch, as they would say back in the old days. The dude has no clue how to promote a business. He said he's going to close the doors on Brotherhood Championship. Brother, you don't even have no doors to open. How are you going to close them?
Tell him.
And the sad thing is, if the man needed some help right now, I'm the type of person that I would go help him.
Yeah, and that's why I said you're a better man than I am. Because
Right.
I take it personally, I guess, when my friends and people I know, and some of y'all have become new friends, like
Right.
people I've known for years and years and years. But the type of people that you are make you want to be around this type. And when somebody attacks those type of people, I know it pisses me off.
Right.
Alan can attest for that, because
Oh, yeah.
I get all up in my feels about that shit.
Yeah.
I agree. And I don't do negativity at all.
Me either.
The only person that's going to be negative is me when I'm reaming their rear ends out for not doing what I asked, or doing something they know better to do, or working unsafe. You'll never hear me say nothing negative about anybody else. But I will not say nothing positive about nothing I've seen over the weekend either from this guy that thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah, well, exactly, dude. And again, I guess Johnny kind of hit his long diatribe last night, late when he was live, about the training aspect, and it's so true. Like, you guys are passing along a lot of knowledge. Even Johnny doesn't try to take people's money for these kids and say, "Well, I'll train you. Just come up here and pay me the money. And I'll make sure you get the right training."
Right.
Y'all are willing to go out of your way to actually help people and learn them.
Man, we train on Thursday nights and we train on Sundays. And I've got several. When the doors are open, they're there. They're wanting to get better. They're wanting to do this. They're wanting to do that. I've got one kid, 16, autistic. He eats this stuff up, and when the doors is open, he's in there.
Oh yeah, there you
And
go.
he thrives on it. He loves it. And do you think I would ever turn my back on somebody like that?
Hell no.
No, I wouldn't. But that Greg James, that night, I had to bite my tongue a couple times. I'm a very outspoken person. And obviously, he's got more problems than he can deal with, and we seen that a few minutes ago.
Yes.
But as far as him humiliating Kyle O'Smiley and my good friend CEO, which I respect dearly,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a real piece of shit to do something like that.
Amen. And that's true.
And
No, go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
He don't ever have to speak to me. I don't ever want him to speak to me. I'll never be rude to him. But in the fact of this world is, when you have people like that think stuff like that's funny, and then he spoke on APW saying, we didn't have a clue what we were doing. We're trying to get people in the ring and not pay them, trying to give them a hot dog and yada yada. He has no clue about nothing about APW, but he ran that long mouth with them cobra teeth in his mouth about my company, and I don't like that.
That's when I got
That
pissed
man-
off.
Yeah.
Because I love APW. You know,
I'm there
and
for whoever.
APW's
As a
given me a lot of chances.
As a matter of fact, the other night, and I imagine some of y'all seen it, I invited one of the guys in the Bluff City deal to come over and just get in the ring and work out with us if he didn't have a place to go at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't need no money out of him. I want to see him be successful. I want to see him get better. I want to see him be able to elevate himself so he could go out and maybe potentially make a little more money with doing this.
Well, and that's the thing. I guess that's kind of the other aspect of all this too. Is you got so many people just chirping out there, and whether it's clout chasing or whatever the term is you want to call it, people who aren't actually there and see it, they're not in APW, not really in Bluff City, who see the help that goes on behind the scenes and
Right.
all the thing that goes into a true brotherhood, and not just naming a company that because
Right.
it sounds like a cool thing to call it.
Right.
But people are actually helping guys get better, and because we all know what it was like coming up. And I'm at 26, 27 years now in this business, still trying to get better and hoping that people can help me and teach me things that I still don't know.
If you think you know everything about this business, 25 years in, if you think you know everything about this business, you might as well stop right now because you don't know nothing.
Exactly. And it's a tragedy what we see out there, which is,
It is.
Again, these guys not getting trained, and people want to wonder why wrestling isn't what it was.
Right.
It's because of those types of people
Right.
who don't understand what it's like to get in there and do what we do and what we love. I mean, because you got to be passionate to be in this business.
For sure.
And another thing I see stemming in this deal is when I was 19 years old, I drove to Jackson, Tennessee twice a week from Marianna, Arkansas, which is 2 hours and 10 minutes. On Wednesday nights and Sundays, I drove from Marianna to Memphis, picked up a carload, and went to Jackson. Come back to Memphis, dropped the carload off. I went home to Marianna. One of them was Johnny Dotson. One of them skinny 45-pound punks was Johnny Dotson. My first match was with Johnny Dotson in a tag match against Derek King and Alan Steele. That's who had hands on me was Alan Steele, Derek King, Trey Keller, and of course me and Johnny was in there, and then Dundee himself.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go into that domain there, you see what these guys are doing. Derek's successful. Johnny's successful, obviously, in life, and now he's got Bluff City. Alan Steele's very successful. But you can't tell me, and Trey, rest in peace, he's no longer with us, but you see these other three guys, how successful they have been in their stages of what they're doing. So I'm applying what I learned to these other guys, and then Buck's applying what he's learned from Johnny Rods up in New York, which is a WWE Hall of Famer for people that don't know.
Yep.
And he's applying that part into them. So when I'm teaching a 1980, 90 model, is what I call it, 80s and 90s model Ricky Morton arm drag, Buck's throwing a 40s and 50 model Johnny Rods shoot arm drag.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's different variations of stuff to learn, and there's different ways to approach the business and handle yourself as a person. And half of these people that I see aren't trained; they don't have a clue.
No, they really don't, and it's that's what I love about APW and Bluff City, and there are a few more that are around here that are that way, but they're so few and far between because I think of what we just had to experience the last 24, 48 hours.
Right.
And we saw that play out on social media, which, and I kind of want to get your take on this, and I hate to just get off topic, but it still kind of is, because promoting today is so much different than it was when we came up through it. When you just we didn't have social media, we didn't have all the things, but now that we've got this tool, and I don't see anybody hardly using it anymore, right? It's rare. And I try to tell my guys, is like, dude, you got to promote yourself, promote the company if nothing else.
Yes.
Or because you've got to figure out ways to draw now.
Right. You do. And the way I look at it and the way I go about it, and I don't mind telling it because I want every wrestling company to be successful. And I've only had 2 down shows to where my expectations weren't met. And I've thrown a number out there at our Civic Center of 400 people or more, and in previous shows. And in my little building that I have, we have anywhere between 95 and 120 on a night. Well, I've had 2 shows that didn't meet my expectations. And the reason I do that is when I promote, I go out and I get the kids.
There you
I'm
go.
family friendly.
Yep.
I don't think that if you can make a kid love what you do, their parents has got to bring them, because they're going to get tired of listening to them. Mama, Daddy, I want to go to the wrestling. I want to go do this. I want to go see this person. I want to go do this. They're going to get tired of it and be like, okay, let's go. And then little Junior is going to bring Billy with him.
Yeah.
So I build my shows around this.
Yeah, 100%. I think OWO over in East Mississippi, they're successful with just that model. That's the model they run.
Right.
It's just they gear everything towards kids and towards getting the kids in there so they'll bring the parents.
So then when I get in there and I can emotionally get some of these these more older grown-ups.
That's that Arkansas English coming out right there.
You shut up right now. You done a terrible job Saturday night. You let them hit my friend with a fist. Closed fist.
Tell the truth, Buster.
Probably staring right at it, no doubt.
Dude, Floyd Flair wound his fist up and he hit Mike Reels in the head. And I didn't like that because that's cheating.
I don't know. All I heard
Alan allows cheating, by the way.
You were laughing on the apron like a hyena.
That's because it was funny when Floyd Flair fell down.
I mean, maybe I thought it was funny when Too Good and
You're
Floyd
supposed to be unbiased, young man.
You're the referee. You're biased.
Referee.
You don't take a side. You don't think nothing's
maybe.
funny.
I said maybe.
No.
I thought.
No, you don't do that.
You just told off on yourself.
Dude, that's a good way to get fired. You know that?
Or kicked in the face
The
again.
modern day Nick Patrick right here.
No.
Hey, look.
Modern day Nick Patrick.
Spoiler alert for those of you out there, but you're going to want to tune in to Bluff City next week. Weekend after, isn't it?
2
Weekend
weeks.
after.
2 weeks, right?
You're an evil person. Why? You talk about surround yourself with the right people. I surround myself with nobody, with just people that degrade me all the time and say bad things about me. Kick me in the face.
Sounds like you got issues, buddy.
Hit me with the chain.
You probably need to talk to somebody about this.
You know what is? Jeez, there's referees need a union. That's what.
2 count. 2 count. I don't think I called in to talk to you, you idiot.
I'm sorry. I just had to break in for a second. Continue with your dialogue, please.
Me and grown folk, me, Chad, and Randy are talking. When grown folks is talking, you don't interrupt.
I mean, I'm grown.
Well, I mean,
I'm growner.
Smurfs grow too.
Oh wait, isn't that what you said? Growner. Go ahead, Buster.
Dang.
2 count. Your PO just fell out of the bottom.
Oh crap. I'll do better. I'll try to do better.
Boy, you go get them hot dogs.
See, Chad, and there was something else I wanted to bring up today. Your song "Pissant" was absolutely bravo.
Thank you. I appreciate that, dude.
My wife even stood up and clapped. She said, "Wait, what was that?" And I said, "Pissant. He's a pissant."
was great.
You don't know how many times it took me to record it because I was laughing so much.
Oh, I bet you would. I bet you. I was too.
Oh,
I
my
giggled about it. And
dang.
then Johnny makes his song this morning, and I was like, y'all are both
Great.
idiots.
Yeah, he's got to stop stealing our material.
He does.
Oh,
He does.
Is Johnny still got material?
Oh, we give him hell about it.
He used a line of mine today. I heard him say, "If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense." I said, Johnny, you're using my line here, buddy.
Oh God, I love Johnny.
I do like that line though. That's good. Buster, I like
It is. It's very. And in reality, if you use that in the wrestling business, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Yep. That is.
Yep.
That is the truest thing that you can say about it.
That is
And-
correct.
There's another thing that I heard Bill Dundee say one time. If you don't make somebody feel an emotion, they won't spend $1 with you.
Nope.
So
That's the biggest thing about this business. I think that most of these supposed vets don't understand.
Right.
It's move. You got to get this. You got to know this hold. I mean, do you really need to make your audience feel something so they'll want to keep coming back?
Yes, you have.
Jerry Lawler made a living on a back body drop, a drop kick, and a punch.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
Now, if Jerry Lawler can make millions of dollars with that, why can't somebody else?
And that's all it is. The problem is people don't understand that. I don't know
Nope.
what it is. I don't know what we're missing or what's been.
They have no psychology.
Exactly.
Nobody understands that in a match, if I'm gonna start working your neck, you probably need some neck breakers in there somewhere or another.
Exactly.
Another thing too.
I've seen
Go ahead.
I've seen people work an arm the whole match and then make somebody submit with a figure 4. How does that happen?
That's right.
Can you? You're talking about Lawler and them, backdrop the fist. Another perfect example of a guy who I always use was Jake the Snake Roberts. Can
Right.
you count in the match? Can you go back and think about how many moves Jake Roberts did in a 10-minute match?
Dude, I really don't remember. Other than
no,
short arm
His whole
clothesline,
career,
his
probably
face-
10.
His eyes,
Exactly.
his eyes and his face is what sucks you in. He didn't have it like 8 or 9 moves maybe.
That's it.
But he used them at the right time, and like you said, it made sense. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna make dollars, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
No, and it's just very true. And we're missing that
Right.
so much. Like we were in Somerville a few weeks ago when I had the busted leg. I mean, you can't tell me one move that I can't remember anything Brody did really.
Nothing.
No,
Brody may have done like a big shoulder tackle or a big back elbow or something just to cut him off, but other than that, dude, y'all told the perfect story in that match.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Just again, the psychology is
Look at
lost
Buster
so much.
putting over Storm and Brody. Look at that. What a
Yeah.
guy.
When it's good, you got to give them their props.
What a guy.
That's just truth, Alan.
Well, I mean, he just turned
Look,
babyface right then.
I gave
In
you.
your eyes,
That's not
so-
true. Heels admire heels, dude. Because greatness
Right.
understands it. You
Yes.
don't understand that because
Yes.
you're not great. But if you were great, you would know.
Maybe one day I'll get there.
Let's not stretch it.
If you
let's not
keep
get carried
if you
away.
keep mouthing
Dial
me,
it
you
back.
ain't gonna make it.
See,
We'll
dude,
make it in
he
Arkansas,
got his ass
maybe.
knocked out Saturday.
That's what I heard.
It's a terrible story, Randy. You don't want to hear.
Yeah,
it.
it's a great story.
It's a
And in
terrible
2 weeks
story.
on CW30, you'll see why.
Okay.
You'll see why.
I can't wait.
People are so
They should know better.
14th, that'd be the 28th.
Oh yeah. You're gonna want to see it. You're gonna want to see it.
so unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens to you, Alan. But
I
again,
just-
you know,
People
I
tell me.
digress.
People tell me all the time. Hey, referees, you need to be more authoritative. You need to show more authority. You get in there, you try to show more authority, and then you watch Bluff City Wrestling on CW30 on, what'd you say, January 28th?
Mhm.
And you'll see why that never turns out well for the referee.
Dude, there's a
Who-
difference
who you listening
between
to?
asserting your authority and then puffing your chest up above your pay grade.
Yes. Yes.
I have to try and get level with you so you can hear what I'm saying.
No, there's
So
another
far
option.
down.
Just don't do it.
Well, man, I don't know.
Kid, you ain't thought none of this through.
You know,
This is the problem. This is the problem. This is why royalty's taking over. when you got a lot of veterans, time after time after time out there doing this stuff, this is why royalty's taking
Option
over
number
right
3 is
now.
probably best for
Randy,
you.
I've got an idea.
It probably
I've got
is
an idea.
every time.
Okay, what's your idea?
Buster, I've got an idea. Randy, I've got an idea. I think
What?
royalty,
Yeah.
Johnny Dotson, Brody Hawk, Storm, Mike Reels. I think they need a personal referee.
A
I
personal
think-
referee.
Yes, I think.
Well, here's the thing.
I
You
think
hadn't done yourself no favors tonight.
Is Bill Rush
Yeah,
still around?
if this is a job
I'm trying
interview,
to look.
buddy,
I'm trying to milk my way back into acceptance here. Okay,
Randy,
That's
what was
I'm
the
doing.
young
I'm trying to-
referee's name back in the CWA, USWA Power Pro days? I can't remember his name.
Aubrey Wayne?
Aubrey
Wayne?
Wayne, yes. Aubrey Wayne's exactly his
Buddy
name.
Wayne's youngest boy.
Yeah, you need to do like Aubrey Wayne done and referee the match, and you let the grown folks take care of the big boy business.
Boy, I'm glad you got Verizon because
Yeah.
I didn't catch none of that.
He's not wrong. Basically, what you said, you need to just step back, shut the hell up,
Yeah, exactly.
and do the counting when the beating's
Okay.
done.
All
That's
right,
pretty much it, Alan.
We'll
Still
do it.
there?
I'm standing back in the corner.
I think we lost him.
Yeah, I think we're losing Ricky a little bit.
All right,
Oh,
There he is. Whoop.
there he
He
is.
come back for a second.
I tell you what,
do what
This is me.
referees do.
dude.
Right.
Alan, once he started
Verizon is
talking, he
terrible.
messed everything up.
Yeah.
Verizon,
Yeah, Verizon
that
is
trips me out
terrible.
more than anything.
Well, I'm just
They
going
will
to
never
stand
be a
back in the
sponsor
corner
of
from now on,
APW.
okay?
It's ridiculous, Alan.
What did I?
Verizon is about like watching Chucky James's live.
Rush, please.
Dang.
Wow. What am I here for?
Shoot.
Well,
So, what events does all APW? We know February 4th
Helen, Arkansas.
in Helena,
Helltown
which
beatdown.
I'm looking forward to that now. A special.
Hear me now.
What else you got coming up, Ricky?
What else?
Yeah,
APW?
what else
February
you got
4th
coming
is
up?
all I have because I'm in the middle of trying to get a roof for my building.
Gotcha.
So it's to be determined as far as
Yeah.
future events past February 4th for APW. Still trying to work some things in, but
And we've got a show that we're working on for Crossroads, a big one at Hadley's for the spring.
Okay.
And I've got some other ones for Crossroads that I'm working on that I think we're going to hopefully have some surprises is what I'm going to say.
we're gonna try and make a circuit.
Yeah, I want to because look, there's the talent's here. The talent is here. It's utilizing the talent.
Mhm.
I think APW does it well because they got a mixture of veterans, these young and up and coming kids who are, that's the thing too. People are giving these young guys. We had a couple that we worked this weekend at Bluff City who are trying to get better and become better. And they do that by being around the veterans who make you better and picking those brains and learning all of it. And I think with all the talent that's around here, you're going to see a lot better wrestling. And when the trash works its way out, like we saw tonight, when we see the garbage that got spewed last night from this Deshaun kid who, oh my God, so he was bashing everybody else's stuff. And then this video comes out of him trying to give a spear. I don't know if
I
he
hadn't
was trying to
watched it.
give him a spear or a Care Bear stare.
I saw
Because it was
somebody
sad.
say something about it, but I hadn't seen the video.
But it's rough. It's in the. I'll show it to you. It's sad, is what it is. But you can't work like that and then try to critique somebody else.
It's people like that who kill the business.
Well, there's a lot, and it's amazing how many of these guys work 2 years and think they're veterans because well, I'm not a rookie anymore because I got past the 1 year mark. That don't make you a veteran. That does not make you a veteran at all. It has nothing to do. Your knowledge is what makes you a veteran.
Yeah.
How you carry yourself and handle yourself and how you understand this business and navigate it. These other guys, man, they ain't got it. Unfortunately, we lost Ricky.
Yeah, he gone.
Hey,
Verizon.
Ricky, we appreciate you though. We spent 30 minutes with us, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for calling in, Ricky.
Ricky,
Yeah,
truly on the shoot side of things, one of my favorite people. Dude's knowledgeable. He understands the business.
Yep.
Knows what it takes to be successful in this business, and is not above doing what it takes to help people out. Like I said, that piece of trash that was talking the other night, doing all this stuff, and then Ricky would definitely be one of the first people there to help him if necessary.
He definitely would be. Yeah, Ricky's. When did I start going over to APW? 2020, I think, late part of
I think so.
2020.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot from just about going over there and sometimes going to the training with those guys and working the shows with them and talking with Buck and with Buster and Floyd and CEO and Maniac, and just because they've got, like you said, they've got the veterans there, legit veterans there. Floyd Flair, they've got the veterans there that have been doing this for years, and so that have ran other companies before they got involved with before APW came around, and they've got guys there that are knowledgeable about the business. Like you said, Buck was trained by, or still is trained by Johnny Rods in New York, who's a WWE Hall of Famer, and then Buster being trained by Bill Dundee back in the day, coming up with Alan Steele, Derek King, Johnny Dotson, guys like that. Like, he was trained the correct way, by the right people, by somebody that has had success in this business. And so when you surround yourself with people like that, you want to listen. You want to take what they have to say, what critiques or helpful hints they have for you. You should want to take that to heart and put that into what you're doing to make you better, to make your craft better. And that's all it is. Like, I never, like, hardly ever, even in the group chats or whatever, like, I barely say anything until like I feel like it's necessary to say something. Even on social media, like, I don't say anything. But when I saw that video the other night,
oh man,
I got so mad. I got just pissed off.
Well, I did too.
Because dude has no clue in the world what APW is or what it stands for. Never been to a show, never seen anything. And he takes that clip and he just exploits it and acts like he knows what's going on. First off, that really pissed me off was dude said, "I don't even like wrestling." He said that in the video.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
did, by the way.
And I'm like, what in the blue hell are you doing?
What do you do? If you don't like it, why are you talking about it?
Because if this is something where if you don't like it, if you don't love it, get out. Don't even get involved.
This is the problem with people in the lower digit IQs when we're talking lower double digits, like in the teens, where you're barely functional.
Yeah.
This guy's barely functional. You got people like that talking that trash. And look, I get it. There's a lot of guys out there because there's a lot of people silent on the issue. But there are some topics I don't feel you should be silent on.
Yep.
Because when it affects your industry, the thing that you love, you see too many industries go under, too many things go under because people will choose to just be quiet because they're afraid of saying anything. You shouldn't be afraid to say anything because most of the time these other guys, like what we saw tonight, the meltdown that happened earlier before we came on live.
Yeah.
All right. What's going to happen? They work their way out of it. But that doesn't happen until people start voicing their opinions and calling them on their bullshit.
Yeah.
Once you start calling people on their BS and putting that iron to the fire, they're going to keep on doing what these other guys are out here doing, the lies that they tell and the stuff, because I'm not the greatest wrestler in the world, but I put my body on the line as much as anybody else does when I go out there. I don't take my stuff for granted. When I go out there, I work as hard as anybody when I'm in that ring, especially at my age.
Yeah.
Going out there, I'll work as hard as a young guy does. I take the bumps. I was in there the other night. You saw how long we were out there the other night and the chaos we wrecked and what we put our bodies through the other day. And so for these guys out there who don't do it, who half-ass it, who have no training, who haven't spent 26 years and 20 plus years in this business doing what we do, then it's a slap in the face to everybody. It's a slap in the face of the green guys. And I like Kylo. He's a good kid. Kylo Smiley's a good kid. He tries. And that's what I was telling Ricky earlier. It's just what you said. These guys are trying. They're trying to get better. And it's our job as stewards of the business to make sure, because we all leave it, to make sure that these guys coming up are able to carry it and able, hopefully, to teach somebody else one day this is what I was taught from a guy who, and this is what he was taught. And that's how that tradition continues. And when you see trash like that rolling around out there and just not willing to do it and to run down everything that's going on right there, and then they'll go lie to other people close to them.
Yep.
They'll go lie about it. It's, oh, that's not really what I meant. It's exactly what you meant.
It is.
It's exactly what you were out here trying to do. And at some point, you have to take a stand.
Yep.
And I get it. It makes people uncomfortable. I understand that. I used to be one of those guys who used to make uncomfortable. Maybe I'm old and commercially now, and I just don't give a damn because I don't. But I love doing this. And I know my time frame for doing it at the level I want to do it at is coming closer and closer to an end. It's going to be here sooner rather than later. And I get that. So I want to be sure the stuff that I'm doing is good and that I'm helping somebody else be good. And one day, hopefully, they'll remember that and go, yeah, I remember that guy helped me out. And I'm going to do the same thing to another guy when I get to where he's at now. And then I want to help somebody else out too.
That's what it's all about.
Because that should be your legacy.
Yeah. And
That should be the not what are you doing for me?
right. And
That should not
like,
be
as far as APW goes, because he was trashing it.
Oh, he
Just
was.
belittling
seen
the hell out
At
of it.
all, have you?
Which one?
The one where
Last night?
no,
No,
was
this
it,
was
yeah, Saturday night.
Saturday night. Yeah.
No.
When dude was
Saturday night.
trashing it. Oh, dude, it's
But
yeah.
APW has been in 4, 5 different towns, I think.
Yeah.
Not just once, but multiple times.
That's right. They
And
keep
these
getting asked back.
places still want APW to come back.
Mhm.
And it's just it continues to be a revolving door of going to these different towns. And like Ricky said, he's got that building and he owns the building. He owns all of his stuff. The only time that he has to rent a place is the Civic Center show or when we go out somewhere. You know, when
Exactly.
APW goes out somewhere. But when you say that APW is trash and it's got guys that shouldn't be in the business and stuff like that, that's when I get heated because these are people that I've become friends with, and like APW is a place that I hold like close to my heart, like I did with Redeemed, because it was the first place that I started working whenever I got out of Redeemed. Like that's the first place that I went to, and so APW is always going to be close. But when outsiders take a clip and they try to down something that I love and down it in a way to where I know is not true and false and negative, like I get pissed off. And I'm not the type to get like vocal about stuff.
That's
like that,
right. You're not.
I keep a lot of stuff in, but you better scoot away. You better scoot away.
Alan's getting fired up.
I'm getting
over
fired
here.
Randy's
up.
like, what's going
Because
on?
it just pisses me off, man. Because
And it should.
But it's like people that, like you said, they have no clue. And I don't want to sit here and act like I know freaking everything about the business or everything.
But
I should.
do
But
you
April-
not come to these shows and you learn every time you're out?
Every time I go to a show, I learn something different, and I do something different because I study what I've done in previous matches, and I see things that I need to change and that I need to fix to make the product better. And it's not just make me better; it's to make the match look better for the fans.
That's right. So I will put Alan over on something, and I won't tell you. I'll give you the context off there later. But he was telling me something Saturday, and he mentioned it to me between shows. I think between the first and second show,
Probably.
and we were talking about. I was like, "Yeah, that makes all sense." And yeah, I would probably. Yep, I get it. It was a smart call, and it's something we should have done earlier. And
it just would have helped out a lot in that first.
Yeah, but it goes back to, but it goes right back to what you just said. The stuff that you learn and you think about, and you want the product to be better, and you should, because I'm not one of these guys who sits back and goes, the referee's not important. I think everybody is functional to having a good show. Announcers, all the stuff that we do, the promoter, the announcers, the referees, the ticket people who set up the lights, the sound, everybody's important. It's all got to function.
Mm-hmm.
And people who are around the business a long time, you learn this stuff. Our production guys know what they're talking about, and women. I mean, I include them all because they do. Princess Vicky, Marvin, they all know what they're doing. And when they say something, I take everything to heart. they got some advice or they got something they've seen or I pay attention to it. I want to know that I appreciate all of it because there's a lot of arrogant workers. Most workers are arrogant. But the problem is being so arrogant that you're not willing to take advice from everybody.
Mhm.
You should be, because people are seeing stuff that you just cannot see. And you should be willing to go, ooh, thank you for that. Yeah, I appreciate it because I didn't see it. That's a good call. Just like with what you were telling when we talked about Saturday. That was a good call, and I wish I'd have known it earlier. Because that would have helped out immensely. Probably would have made some stuff a little better.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
We came back around to it.
Yeah, but it all makes sense, right? And you should want to learn it. And 99% of these guys don't want to because they know everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. Preacher Pete Day Storm, single digit IQs is what Austin is referring to, and it's correct. Marvin Payne, what's going on, gentlemen? Love Marvin, by the way.
Yeah, Marvin's
Princess,
good.
they're awesome. They're awesome. They make
he does
the whole
so
thing
much,
work.
man, behind the scenes for Bluff City that people don't realize and know about. But
He does a TV show,
Marvin's
doesn't he?
Marvin's
Yes.
Marvin's
Yeah. They work
Producer,
hard.
TV, yeah.
Marvin's
He's
a
their
key element.
first thing and the last ones
Yep.
to leave. And we are working on something in conjunction with Bluff City that working with Marvin on, and Alan is too. And we're going to try to get that to y'all. Hopefully we'll have some announcements we can make on it in the next couple of weeks or so. Trying to get all that straightened out. I'm looking forward to that.
What I tell you last night, whenever I text you or in the group message, I said I'm working in the dark, Storm.
Oh yeah.
I say working in the dark.
Stay working in the dark. We got different things we're going to do with this show, by the way. We talked to Randy a little bit before with the new layout that we're going to do. Probably will change the time of the show and probably the day of the show, because now we have the ability to kind of do it different ways, because we want to get some interviews in.
Yep.
Monday nights are a busy night for some of the guys. Well, a lot of people, really. National championship game is tonight, by the way. We're up against Raw and all that. And we do want to get some live interviews in here like we just had with Ricky. We want to get a lot more of that in here. We're thinking about doing some watch-alongs. Kind of critique it.
That'd be great.
Because Randy lives off further from the rest of us. I don't want him having to drive all the way down here and trying to do that, because that's not fair to him. But now we don't have to do that. We can do it different kind of ways. So I think we just established that. So I'm excited about what we've kind of got coming up here.
Go live from the Randy Riviera.
There you go.
Like
Which I kind of
Cornet.
want to see this place.
Like Castle
You might
Cornet.
hear chickens in the background.
Hey, look, that is okay.
Yeah.
That is all right there.
But yeah, it's a new year. It's a new year, 2023. Trying to change some things up and do some different stuff and try to grow the page some. If you've got any suggestions out there for us,
Yeah, let us know.
like on what day do you think would be best? You know, we've got some ideas or time slots that you think would be best for us to go.
Yeah. Generally in the
just shoot
evening
the
time, it
ideas.
seems to be that's going to be the way to go,
Yeah.
because everybody's getting off work and kind of relaxing, can sit down and chill a little bit. But one of the big things you can also do is like and share these pages, whether it's Undefined Radio, whether it's Bottom Card Booking, Crossroads, Bluff City, all these things, because that supports
APW,
wrestling.
all pro wrestling.
APW's
share,
page.
like you said, follow, share, comment. I mean, that's what helps.
Easy,
keep the show
simple things.
Yeah.
You don't have to monetarily do it. Just a click of a button and a share and say, hey, check these guys out. That goes a long way. And now we've gotten so we got this new feature we finally qualified for, which I'm happy about. And they may be doing everybody's videos, but before they weren't. So if you notice in the chat, you can give stars out and stuff. I think it's $2.99 to give out stars and things like that. You ever feeling froggy? Feel free to do it.
Please.
Every little thing helps go towards production and all that. And like I said, we're trying to build a community, and I think we're doing it. And I've really enjoyed it. And we got a lot more good things to come. This year, I think we're going to try to bust loose a little bit more, do some live location stuff. I'm working on that right now with this new setup. I think we'll be able to do it a lot
One of these
more.
nights, we need to have a ask anything show.
We really do. That's what, and that's a good thing. We get this thing solidified here on the night we're going to do it. We're going to do that. Ask us anything, we'll answer. No matter what it
Whether it's
is.
news events, wrestling events, it don't matter. Just
What's in Alan's red room? We don't want to know, really, but some of y'all may want to know. And Alan's, I think, more than happy to talk about it.
Of course.
So we'll get it out
does
there.
Alan have any kids out there?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Exactly. Are there new #1 hits you want Big Daddy to sing for you guys?
So
And if so, all you have to do is tell me who you want it dedicated to. I'll be more than happy to help you out.
You know Uncle Cracker's song "Smile."
No.
You don't know that? You know that song. If you heard the song, you would know the
Oh,
song.
if I do, I hadn't heard Uncle Cracker in like 37 years, so I don't know.
That you need to listen to "Smile," and
All right.
then you need to make a new song with that music.
Okay.
related to said topic that has
This
been
one?
the discussion tonight.
Dude, yeah, and last night Ricky was talking about the Piss Ant song.
That was so.
So I was sitting there.
amazing.
I
That's
had
the best one you put out. I will say that's the best song that you've put out.
I had 2 other versions of it to different tunes, right? And I was writing the tunes, it just wasn't working for me. I was like, well, it had different lyrics, and I was like, man, this is not working. And I was like, I need some inspiration. And for those of you who don't know, yesterday was Elvis's birthday. He would have been 88 years old. Hail to the king.
Did you eat
Rest
what
in
was
peace,
his favorite
Elvis.
sandwich? The banana and mayonnaise?
Banana and peanut butter.
Banana and peanut butter. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, banana and mayonnaise.
Jay
Who said
Long-
they ate that
Man,
nasty?
my
Jay
God,
Lone
dude,
Wolf.
man.
That's
your buddy,
right.
Your buddy.
That's
Jay Lone
right.
Wolf.
That's who I tried to put that out of my mind. Those are 2 things that do not go together.
Jay Lone Wolf loves banana and mayonnaise sandwiches. What a freak!
Dude.
What?
That's why he stays skinny.
That's disgusting.
You can't gain weight eating banana and mayonnaise because your body just don't want it in there.
Yeah,
It tries to get out of there as quick as it can. But I thought I heard that song Little Sister, and I love that song. And I was like, it just hit me up.
Little sister, don't you?
Little sister, don't you?
Yep.
And I was like, oh man, that's great. And all of a sudden it just hit me. Little piss ant, don't you? I was like, there it is.
That's it.
I was like, that's it. It just started flowing. I was like, man. And after it started flowing, I was like, oh hell yes.
Good stuff.
It feels good when
I
you
gotta go
find-
live with this.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
got to.
And literally, I had to record it several times because I was laughing so hard every time I was trying to do it. I was trying to be serious, but I kept tickling myself, and that usually don't happen when I do these songs. I just sing them, and
Storm was popping himself over
Dude, I
there with
was.
his
It
own
was
lyrics.
it was good. And my voice wasn't having it last night. It was raw.
You're a modern day Cletus T. Judd.
Yes.
Parodies, yes.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yes. Kind
I
of.
wasn't going to go with Weird
Kinda.
Al because that's kind of dated, but
Who's that?
Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Yeah.
Look, Weird Al
It's
was my
not-
hero growing up.
It's not
The
super.
first
makes
Weird
money.
Al song I heard was
I'm fat.
I think it was
Okay.
I Love Rocky Road,
No.
or is it the Mickey one? It was one of the 2.
First
The
one I ever
parodies
heard
that he
was
did.
I'm fat.
And then
Of the Michael
Oh,
Jackson, I'm bad.
yeah, because then he did I'm Fat, and then there were so many of them. I became a huge Weird Al fan, but I remember hearing I Love Rocky Road and the old Mickey side. But it was old Ricky because he did the I Love Lucy. But I think it was I Love Rocky Road first, and it was the and then he did the old Ricky to the I Love Lucy deal.
Then I heard
Oh,
his
Ricky.
version of Who Let the Cows Out?
Oh yeah. And White and Nerdy is always a classic.
White and nerdy.
Yeah, Amish Paradise.
Yeah.
Another good one.
That's a good one.
Another great one. But I've always been a fan of that. And so when I was young, I would write parodies after I heard it. Done.
Let's see. Cletus T had How Do You Milk a Cow? Plowboy, which was a
Yeah.
parody of Kid Rock.
Oh boy.
One of my favorite ones he did was a song that Brooks and Dunn had called "God Must Be Busy," and then Cletus T comes back out and puts out "Garth Must Be Busy."
Yeah.
Because that's when Garth was in retirement. And
That's right.
He didn't do anything. And then he had Gary Allen's "Watching Airplane." I was sitting out here watching airplanes, rinse off and dry. I mean, he had some good stuff at the time.
You know, the first thing I ever did parody wise, singing or stuff, was actually a poem. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yeah, I changed up all the words and did it at a show one night for an opponent. I was like, oh, that was cool. And everybody's like, oh, that was really cool. And I thought, yeah, it would have been really cool if I'd have sang it. And then Swollen was created the very next week. And I did that on Bill Street. It was the first time I ever performed a parody song.
Right
out.
there on Bill Street.
Right
Oh,
on
yeah.
Bill.
Yeah.
I was down
Yeah.
there last night. I
On
was
Bill?
down there last night. Yeah. Went to the
Wow.
Grizzlies game last night.
Oh, well, there.
Had to walk to my car, so I walked across Bill Street because it was
Sure.
cold and I was
Oh,
trying to get there.
There's a
quicker.
park, the Peabody Garage.
No. I parked down there between AutoZone Park and the Forum.
Did you walk by
Just
yourself?
walked up. No, my
That's
my
insane.
sister wanted to go to a Grizzlies game, and so she wanted tickets for Christmas. So
Yeah.
I got me and her tickets for the game last night for
Oh, there you
her
go.
Christmas present. So
Oh, cool.
2 count can be nice sometimes.
Well, now we got the local stuff out of the way and get y'all's opinion. What do you think about Vinnie Mac
Oh,
Stand
yeah, we
back
got to
in.
talk about that. I forgot
standing
about
back
that.
into the board of directors?
Yeah,
Yep.
so by the end of 2023, who is going to be the new owner of WWE? Will it be Disney?
Nope.
Will it be Amazon?
Nope.
Verizon sucks, by the way.
Verizon does.
I just saw it.
Verizon's terrible.
Marvin, you did tell me I would like it. You are correct, sir. You are 100% correct, buddy. I appreciate it, Marvin.
Will it be? Is NBC Universal's the same thing, right? Which they
Yes.
already own.
The media rights.
They are,
Yeah,
yeah,
media,
they
yeah.
already got the media right. It would
Yeah.
only make sense.
But do you
for-
think they would be willing to pay the rest of it to take it? I mean,
I don't know.
they're already paying a bunch of money for it.
And they've
I
got the,
would not be shocked, in my opinion. I would not be shocked to see if Stephanie and Triple H and a couple more investors go in and buy it.
you think so?
I would be shocked to see.
I would be fine with that. I feel like I would be better off with that than an outside source coming in. But everybody's talking about Vince returning and stuff, coming back in and making himself the executive. Was it executive CEO?
Remember
or
the
chairman or
knee-jerk
whatever?
reactions you mentioned earlier?
Right.
It's that,
Yeah.
I think, because, again,
It's so funny how he could just come in and do this just out of the blue. But he's been gone since what, July?
well, that's
June
what
or
happens
July?
when you own the line share
But,
of things. He
yeah,
just stepped
like,
down. Just
Well,
step
he could've-
down and
he
get
could've
the
done this the
still-
entire time.
Vince still had the vote because he's still
Right.
80% owner.
80%.
Yeah.
So
That's why he
That's
could do it.
that's wild. He could
I mean, he
could have just
stepped
come
down
in.
from the board of directors while they did this investigation.
Right. He could have come in at any point, and he
Yep.
chose January 6th.
Because it's Vince.
Right
The
before
same-
Mania. Right before Mania.
The same day
The
the
same-
what they call it, the insurrection in Washington. Yeah.
Also, today they put out a new poster for the Royal Rumble, which has people talking about the speculation of The Rock being in the Royal Rumble,
Oh, did they put out a new graphic?
or The Rock being at the Rumble.
Well, now he's not working on Black Adam 2 anymore. That
Mhm.
may happen.
What happened with that? I didn't even know they were making a Black Adam 2.
Well, they're not
Oh,
because
well,
the first one failed so badly. I
yeah.
actually liked it.
I went to
So,
sleep,
well, whatever.
but I sleep through every movie.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be
We could have
surprised.
Rock and Reigns at Mania.
I mean, I think it'd be
Possibility.
good.
What's where's the Sammy and Roman Reigns deal going?
Well, it's eventually got to go to
Yeah,
a
it's fixing to
party
go
and
to,
stuff.
That stuff they were doing
gonna
backstage
say
Friday night
in
at SmackDown
February-
was great.
It
I'm
was.
gonna say in
February.
February when they go to Canada, Sammy will either face Roman singles match, or Sammy and Kevin will get together and it'll be Sammy and Kevin against the Usos for the
Usos.
titles, and they'll give the belts to Kevin and Sammy.
That's what I kinda think.
Just kind of guessing.
But I would lean more towards that, really. 'Cause I still think Cody's going to take the belt off of Roman.
Well, I mean, it's a possibility if Rock doesn't, if Rock can't do Rumble, I mean, that's Plan B.
That's what I just believe that's going to happen.
Let me see.
I believe it's. I mean, because this is if Rock doesn't do it this year, that's it.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of
Well,
the
I
last.
figure he probably go another. He go another year, but with it being right there in Hollywood, that'd be perfect for him.
I just don't know how much the Royals are going to allow him to do it, though.
So I follow this Twitter account called Vince McMahon's Thoughts,
Oh, jeez.
and
Of course you do.
I'm gonna let you read this.
Do I want
Read this
to?
tweet out that they sent out yesterday at what was it 7:30, 6:30 last night. IWC is
The IWC is going to explode when my music hits at number 30. I strut to the ring with my power walk. I proceed to toss out the final 6 superstars in the Royal Rumble. And I grab a microphone, pal, announcing I've just sold WWE to the royal family of Saudi Arabia, pal.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be a thing if the Saudis bought WWE?
His last act as WWE owner's full heel
Yeah,
Oh,
in a straight shoot way.
everyone finds out it wasn't a gimmick
Yeah,
for real.
it was Vince all along.
What was it? When was that? 90? That was the late 90s or whatever. When was he revealed as one of the druids or something for Undertaker or whatever? They took the hood off and it was
Oh yeah, when he
Vince
was
with the
smiling.
crazy big eyes and
It
big
was Vince
smile.
all
or whatever.
along.
but you know where the first place Vince ever healed was?
Where?
Memphis,
That's true.
at the Mid-South Coliseum.
Running them down.
He tripped Lawler. Lawler and Bret Hart had a match at the Coliseum on a Monday night when Lawler was still doing both, and Vince and Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson, all three came down, and Lawler chased Bret around the ring, and Vince was sitting there in chairs, and he just took his foot out and tripped Lawler up, and they cost Lawler the match. And Vince goes on TV the next week with his coat on, talking about down in the city of Memphis, and unbuttons the coat, and there's a unified title right around his waist. 2 years later,
Yep,
Mr. McMahon was born on TV.
that's right.
crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you weren't born then.
I was.
That's for his time.
You weren't born then?
What year?
Probably not.
Probably that's probably 93, 4, 5, something like
Yeah.
that. Probably.
Well, pal, I was born in '93.
Well, yeah.
There was a Vaseline jar with
Oh, yeah.
that was his name on it.
Go back and watch on YouTube. You can watch it. The WWE versus USWA. It breaks it down week by week.
Yeah. Telling you, old school, man. There's so many things used to happen. They just Tales from the Territories
20
is a lot of fun.
20 minutes before they went on air. Just nobody knew what's going on. I mean, and that's why it turned out good.
Yeah. Sometimes it's easy to overthink things.
Yep.
Sometimes the best thing is just off the cuff,
Ad lib.
as long as you're in there with people who can do it.
Yeah.
I've heard
Well, that's
Jeff
the
Jarrett, Dutch Mantel Sale podcast. Man, they would never book TV till driving home Friday night from a spot show or 30 minutes before he was, what are we gonna do? Oh, yeah, okay, let's do this.
Sometimes you don't know until you feel the crowd out and go, huh, you know what these guys are actually going to like. We thought it was going to be this, but here's something that'll be cool.
That's the direction we need to go.
That's why I don't do the whole spot fest thing and planning match from beginning to end. That's so stupid to me.
Who was it? We were.
If you cannot feel the crowd and know what you're doing by feel, then to me, it's just not.
Just give me the finish.
That's all I need.
We were talking. Me and you were talking about you and Brody working somebody, and I was like, dude, you were going to have a field day with that. But I was like, because they want to call out every spot in the match, and you were just like, yeah, not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
I don't care who it is.
I
Not going to happen.
I don't. I mean, because look, it's easier for you to work my style than it's for me to work yours when it comes to that, because I'm not going to remember it. I don't do that way because I have to know what the crowd's doing. I have to know where I am and in the moment. I don't go out there and say, I got to do move A, B, and C, and D. Got to get that one in right there. And I got to make sure it follows this move, and you got to do this. Dude, I hear people talk about that all the time. But your match has got to be structured. It's got to be structured this way. This pillar's got to be here, and you got to attach it with this rivet over here. And you got the fans will let you know how to structure your match.
Yep.
Because the fans know what they want to see. They know what excites them. They know what bores the hell out of them. And if you can't read your fan base live as it's happening, you got a lot to learn. That's just how it is.
That ties into psychology too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was taught that early. That was one of the first things I learned was how to do that. Because I mean,
do you think that ties in to the? I mean, it ties into how somebody was trained or wasn't trained, but as far as like wanting to call every spot in the match, that takes the psychology aspect out of the match.
Well, it does because you're ignoring the fans, because then you're saying, I know what the fans want.
Right.
I know exactly how this, and all fans are different. They're not all the same.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't tell me you know what all the fans want. You know what you want to do.
Right.
And you know what you think is going to pop them every time. But that's the difference between saying, I'm going to show fans cool moves, or I'm going to make the fans feel a certain way where they want to come back and buy another ticket to watch me do my thing. Either that's beat up on the bad guy, or as the bad guy, somebody watch me get my butt. Who's going to be able to take him down because I hate him so much? Mm-hmm. I made them feel that way. They don't care about my move. They know that that's a bad son of a bitch right there. And I either want to see him get his comeuppance, or he's the good kind of son of a bitch that I want to see destroy that other asshole. That's how you should always try to make that audience feel. And you need to be able to feel that as it's happening. Whatever side of the fence you're on, you've got to be able to know that. And you don't know that going into a fresh building where nobody knows you. Somerville is still another prime example. And I keep going back to that match for one reason. They did not know me and Brody. A couple people knew Brody, but they didn't know me. I haven't wrestled in that part of the world in 20-something years.
You said that part of the world.
But it's true.
Yeah, no, I know. But
it's not too far from here. But
no.
It's still ways.
Look, you're going across the Tennessee line. That's a whole new world.
Yeah.
You're going up into the hills a little bit, hill country. That's a different story. But the fact that remains is that by the end of it, though, it was loud in there, and people knew us then.
Yep.
Not because of the moves we did, because as a one-legged man in that ass kicking contest, there wasn't a lot. It made them feel something. And you've got to be able to do it. And these assholes like Greg James, Tashawn, Jabroni Bill, or whatever the hell his name is, Can't make you feel anything except I want to throw up all over the place. That's it. That's the reaction you get from guys who don't know this business, who don't know what they're talking about, who haven't been trained, and who are polluting the thing that we love the most. Because there's no better business than wrestling because it's so unique in all aspects of it. People say, well, there's a way you train for football. There's a way you train. Training for wrestling is a whole different kind of monster. It's a whole different mindset. And you got to be half stupid and crazy to do it. I would say probably more 3/4 stupid and crazy to do it. But it's something that we do. We choose to do. We love it for that reason.
Yeah.
And these guys out here polluting our business, good riddance to him.
Yeah.
He can keep having his meltdowns. I can't wait to watch it some more after the show's over. Because I mean, God, how psycho do you have to be?
Yeah,
That's crazy. You probably need some mental health checks going on over there.
definitely.
Probably go see somebody, talk to some physicians. Probably going to need it. Probably going to need a heart doctor after all that's over with. Because, good Lord, that was nutty.
Like some serious
just-
medication.
Like you stick your foot in your mouth, and then less than 48 hours later, you know, you're shutting down your company
Yeah,
that you've been running.
How sad is that words on the internet can make you shut down something you supposedly
And guess what?
running on?
APW still running strong. Guess what? Saturday for the Bluff City TV tapings, that was the best crowd that we've had.
Yeah, it was. It was packed in there.
So guess what? Our business, our stock is going up.
Mm-hmm.
Your stock just went kaput.
Bink. Bye.
If they
Sorry,
had any.
That's it.
if there was any. But wrestling, the Memphis wrestling scene has been so hostile and just ridiculous, like for a while
Yeah.
now. And before I started going, the first show that I knew about that was running in Memphis, when I got into wrestling, was 901.
Yeah.
And guess what? 901 is still running.
They are. They are.
Not
And they're
a
still
run.
going strong.
901 keeps to themselves. They don't bother anybody. They don't
Yeah.
get into all this
They don't.
to all the
They
drama.
they're in a world of their own over
They
there.
are, and they're doing good. And
Yeah.
I enjoyed going to 901.
Yeah, I think what
whenever I was
Tommy
going.
Jackson's done over there is a good thing. How he's promoted over there for them.
Tommy
So it
Tommy
works
knows
for
what he's doing. They've got a fan base, and they attract that fan base, and they
Yeah.
keep people coming to shows. Then there was Championship Wrestling from Memphis.
Yeah.
They've got their fan base.
them.
And they fill up that wrestle center.
Yeah.
Things can be said about them however they want to be said.
Yeah, and you can feel
But-
about them one way or the other.
Exactly. But you can't deny that what Dustin Starr and Austin Lane and Neil Taylor and Derek King
Yeah.
and Alan Steele, like what those guys have done hasn't been successful because it has.
Yeah, I mean they're still rolling and still doing their
What are
thing.
you
over
on 2 years now?
there.
Uh
Yeah, well, 3.
it
Almost.
started in 2021, in February 2021.
I
Yep.
guess it had, yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, I guess
'cause
two-
it was
almost 2
2
years.
years. Yeah, almost
They're
2
still
years.
having when they first started, the talent were still having to go and get COVID tested before
Oh, that's
we
right.
could go to the buildings.
Yeah, I forgot you mentioned that.
Yeah, but so they're successful. Bluff City's come in
And we're only 4 months old.
brand spanking new. But this past weekend we had our, best crowd, loudest crowd.
That's right.
We were pulling seats from the locker room.
Yeah, trying to
Out.
get people in them.
Yeah. that's
Dude,
good.
The studio was filled up.
Yeah,
Like every show, if every taping is that way, dude. I mean, Mr. Dotson, sir, is going to have to find another studio.
He's
I don't know
gonna
what they're
have
going
to.
to do, but
but it's great to see it
yeah.
because I think at the end of the day, those are the 3 you're probably going to still see standing
hmm
because you got a lot of old school mentalities in there, and you got a lot of hype new guys who are walking that line between both of them, which I think is what you need in this day and age because you
Yeah.
can't just rely on old school. You have to have old school mentality with all of this, new age style.
hmm
I mean, that's the only way because with the audience the way they are, the old school audience is really dying out. But I always submit old school psychology will always work.
Yeah.
Always, because it's
Always
at the
has, always
core
will.
of what wrestling is. It will always work.
Yep, for sure.
You just have to adapt.
For sure.
And I think there's a part of that too. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys and gals tuning in. Thanks to our special guest, Ricky Kennedy, for being in here tonight on APW. What a great job they do.
Buster Kennedy.
See ya.
So we appreciate it. thanks to these guys in here. And thanks to you guys for supporting us now on what our 4th year coming
In a
in.
minute,
Something
yeah.
like that.
It's been a
Been a while,
long
man.
time. It's
We've
been a
done some
while.
changing.
and we'll be doing a lot more changing this year. We're gonna
Yeah.
have interviews lined up.
Yep.
Me and Ricky, Randy have talked about some stuff. So look for the new format. We will follow us on Undefined Radio on Bottom Card Booking. We will let you guys know the changes that are coming or changes in times that we're going to do because we're trying to find the best because we love the audience participation, the comments. We'd like to get more interviews with wrestlers, not just popular wrestlers, but guys who are in the area that are up and coming that we want to talk to and get their honest opinions about. There's a lot of good talent out here, folks. Support your local wrestling shows because those guys are the future of this business.
Yep. And in a couple weeks, we'll have Jason Wells from CCW
That's right.
Cape Championship.
Always
Wrestling on
run a
with
good
us.
show over there in Cape Girardeau.
So, yep. So
Always
they've got a
love
big
talking to
show,
him.
One Night Riot, coming up January 28th in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Yep.
So first show for them for 2023. So should be a big show. So we'll have him on air to talk about it and to join us that night. Just shoot the breeze a little bit about wrestling.
Thanks, Austin. He says great stuff, guys. We do appreciate Austin. And thanks for tuning in. I mean, it's going to be good. And now, February 4th, Big Daddy's finally coming to APW.
Helltown
Oh,
Beatdown.
That's appropriate.
Helltown Beatdown.
Oh, that's appropriate. Oh, business will definitely pick up.
So when are you
that
coming?
night.
When are you coming, Randy?
Whenever I can get a free weekend and there's an APW show.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. I
I'm
feel
still
that.
trying to even come up to
my
Bluff City.
my rodeo
Yeah.
season has started, and now I'm back in the old Mid-South buildings. This weekend I was at Lafayette. Next weekend, this coming weekend, I was in Alexandria, Louisiana, and then the weekend of the February the 4th, I'll be in Lake Charles, where the place where Jim Cornette had to learn how to fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
So are you going to be
Oh,
at
speaking
the
of
Landers Center?
Mid-South, y'all, I met a guy a couple years ago, and I need to get him on the show. I know he can't do video because he don't understand it. But there's a guy I met several years ago. His name is Bob. I'm trying to think of his last name. But Bob used to go like Mid-South, and he has got some stories to tell.
Huh.
I need to try to run it. I got a friend of mine who's a friend of his. I don't have his phone number, but I need to get it. And man, I want to tell you, he can tell you some stuff that is like Hacksaw, DiBiase. I mean, man, he's got some very interesting stories about them.
We'll get him on here.
Yes, that'd be good. That'd be good to have.
That'll be fun to
one
have.
Monday night. Or
Yeah, that'd be a lot of
whatever
fun.
night we do it.
That's right. Bottom Card Booking, we're about to take off this year, boys. Guys, we appreciate it. Y'all have a good night. Cody says, definitely enjoyed this episode, guys. I appreciate it. Cody, Thomas, enjoyed everyone except Buster No Cherry. Hey, look, first of all, that's disrespectful. Something bad must have happened to Too Good this weekend.
Well,
I know one thing
Buster-
that did, but anyway, no spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all next week.